Well, I have a visitor has pinned me down on this chair. Right, Diesel, the cat, joins us today. Not that he keeps looking at me with the winky eyes. Okay, this is about the bots that are controlling your mind online, the messaging. It's all Democrat, it's all anti-Israel, anti-MAGA, and people have been suckered into it. I'm not calling people dumb, because we're all under the similar forces on the internet trying to make us believe certain things. I just so happen to not believe any of the things that the bots are telling people to believe. I'll give you some examples here. But if you believe the Epstein files ought to be looked into, you're one of the people that is agreeing with the bots, most of them from Saudi Arabia and India, that say you should be focusing on the Epstein files. Now, I've been telling you guys to get off the Epstein files since they first came out. I said they were a distraction. I smelled that they were a distraction. And of course, Trump said it on day one. He said it was a hoax. So he always knew. And then people that go against our leader will lose. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the Happy Patriots are. I hope you guys subscribe. And of course, Diesel, yes, you're a good boy. Here we go. This is where we're going to start. This is Trump's farewell address to Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation. I just posted on Twitter, Marjorie Trader Brown, because of plummeting poll numbers and not wanting to face a primary challenger with a strong Trump endorsement where she would have no chance of winning, has decided to call it quits. Her relationship with the worst Republican Congressman in decades, Tom Massey of Kentucky, also known as Ron Paul Jr., because he votes against the Republican Party and really good legislation, did not help her. For some reason, primarily that I refused to return her never-ending barrage of phone calls, Marjorie went bad. Nevertheless, I will always appreciate Margie and thank her for her service to our country, President Donald Trump. There you go. That's how you attack and defend at the same time. Now, here's the first tranche of the bots breaking. Waves of Democrat influencers are being exposed as foreigners under X's new location update. What happened is Elon Musk put a feature on that allow you to track the countries where tweets are coming from. So people that claim to be Americans and voters, lo and behold, the accounts were all from other countries and they're bots, including leftist X agitator Alex Cole, who claimed he voted for Kamala, but has now been revealed to be Canadian. There's Alex Cole. This is some of the stuff that he said, the Canadian. He said, I'm voting for Kamala, the only candidate running in the race who was not friends with child predator Jeffrey Epstein. Why, that sounds like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey and a whole lot of the people stuck on Epstein. Who started that? The Democrat Party, funded with millions of dollars to create bots and push this through social media and brainwash you into a little Democrat operative. And it worked on too much of MAGA for my liking. There's another one who said, I'm voting for Kamala or Biden. Everyone else is just debating for the vice president decision. That was all the way back in 2019. Here's G, a convicted felon, meaning Trump, who is vowing to exact revenge on millions of Americans, or law and order Kamala is what he called Kamala. I'm voting for Kamala. You know, law and order Kamala, who said defund the police. Here's Alex Cole. Okay, heading there right now to vote for Kamala. He says, these are bots, guys. These are either fake accounts or just foreigners posing as Americans to influence you and lie to you and keep you distracted. My channel is trying to help MAGA and help Trump. That is, my bias is his plan and the Republican plan, conservative plan, Christian plan, and it is my bias is against Democrats always, Marxist, Stalinist, atheistic, Satanist, liberals, leftists, the homosexual agenda, the abortion baby, a murder agenda. That's my number one. Israel is nowhere near my top 100. If it's in your top 100, you're probably being fed a bunch of garbage and you ought to just, Think about it. What is Israel really doing to you right now? Here's very breaking. Elon Musk just turned on location spotlight. So that's the feature that allows us to see all these posts where they came from. And these are the people that claim to be Gaza residents when Israel was firing bombs on them. And guys like Tucker Carlson and David Smith and Candace Owens were all mourning, going, Israel is mean to Gaza. The influencer industry and fake IDF soldier industry just imploded. Turns out the quote, eyewitness in Rafah living under bombardment, unquote, had been live tweeting from a comfy flat in Islamabad, because this is all, they want you off the Islamic revolution going on in America and on Israel. They don't want you to see that 24 mosques have been built in Texas in the last 2 years and 0 synagogues anywhere. The Jews are not growing. The Jews are shrinking in America. Muslims are growing, and Muslim billionaire bots out of Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Egypt, hostile countries, are trying to get you to stay focused on Israel. Dummy. Wake up, my people. Sorry for calling you dummy. In Islamabad, okay, the Khan uni nurse who hadn't slept in 400 days while being shelled in Gaza is apparently posting between shifts at a call center in Lahore. Babe, the only IV drip you've seen is a chai one, a chai drip. Chai coffee. Congratulations to the quote, Gaza dad of 6 children of a family of 6 hiding in a tent, unquote, who's been rage sobbing, making donations. You're paying them. Not you. My audience is smart because you listen to the show and you've subscribed. And I'm here to protect you. That's why you got to call Chapter. From a rooftop in Dhaka with better Wi-Fi than most of London. Your link in the bio days are over. So they've been putting links to raise money. Shout out to the, quote, Dear Al-Bala poet writing by candlelight, unquote, is what he claimed to be, who's actually in Chelyabinsk, Russia, typing manifestos next to a radiator that's warmer than his entire sob story. So this is IDF snipers in Gaza. These are snipers that are supposed to be cheering at shooting civilian Gazans. Again, to foment your hatred against Israel, to go, you know, Israel, why do I feel suddenly like Israel's fighting too hard against Gaza and shooting too many civilians? That was all put in your mind with bots and programming on the internet. So liberate your mind. Doesn't mean you have to believe the opposite, but at the very least, don't trust this massive social contagion. Bot farms are stripped naked. The VPNs are crying, and every quote, Northern Gaza survivor, unquote, just got outed as a guy in Punjab who's never met a rocket that wasn't in Call of Duty. These are grifters. These are crooked. These are liars. And now you know. And all the anti-Israel, all of them. Here's one from West Asia. Look, he's got a pro-Palestinian flag with his fist in the air. And the country of origin, West Asia. And he claims Palestinian living in Gaza where life meets death. And he has a Palestinian flag. Are you anti-Israel? Are you sure it wasn't put in your head by people paying to? Now we're going to get back to more of that in just a minute. Here's another bad influencer. Mark Zuckerberg just got exposed. That's why we're putting him on the thumbnail. According to this brief, Meta, known as Facebook, was aware that millions of adult strangers were contacting minors on its site, underage people on its sites, that the products exacerbated mental health issues in teens, and that content related to eating disorders, suicide, and child abuse was frequently detected, yet rarely removed by Facebook. But boy, if you question the vaccine, your whole channel was removed. If you question election integrity, your whole channel was removed. You pull this stuff, Facebook doesn't remove it. The bots want us with eating disorders, hating Israel, not voting for Trump. They're completely and utterly united. Speaking of united with Hamas, here's Thomas Massie for Congress. I'm sad to see one of my best friends, Marjorie Taylor Greene, leave Congress. I'm not sad to see her leave Congress. I'm happy. I hope we replace her and Thomas Massie with MAGA to perform the Trump agenda before he gets impeached in 26. She was one of the brave few who fought with me to release the Epstein files, the biggest fake news psyop in American history against Trump and against MAGA, bought into by suckers and I see them, the bots are in my chat, guys. The Saudi Arabian bots are in my chat saying I'm full of S, I'm a liar, I'm paid for by Israel, they say. By the way, to Israel, I'd love to get some of that money. Start paying me any day. They will not, they don't give me millions. Qatar gives millions to Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, whoever. I don't know who they're funding, but suddenly these people flip on Israel and they're for Gaza. The threats against us have been insane. Now that I believe, and that is wrong. We never threaten them with violence, never. That should not be in any of our language, but it's too easy to be an anonymous account and threaten people. Probably bots are threatening them for all I know. And then here's my favorite from Thomas Massie. If you want me to keep fighting, I need your support. And here's a link donation, guys. If you're an anti-Semite and you're getting paid for by Saudi Arabia, look, you can donate to Thomas Massie so we can keep the fight up to $7,000. He needs your money. Dummies, throw your money. That's flushing your money down a toilet. But okay, there you go. He's asking for money. Just like the people in Gaza that were getting money off sucker dumb Americans. Here's Laura Ingraham. I just wanted to talk about the left a little bit. This is a good clip.
Yeah, it's not just Congressman Green who's obsessed. The whole party's obsessed. He's just like the face of it. By Matt, Matt, do you think that this should actually be part of the GOP's argument next year, along with the fact that...
That's Rep. Al Green that announced that he wants to impeach Trump again, like for a third time he's going to try. They're going to try. They're going to do it if they get a majority.
They're tackling affordability, gas prices down, inflation's down, peace in the Middle East. But that if you vote for them, the country will be mired in the same old Trump investigations that dragged us down into nowhere in 2018, 19, leading into 2020.
That's right. Never put an X next to a Democrat. I've been telling you guys that for years. I also told you guys that if we lose the House and Senate in 2026 in the fall, Trump will be impeached. I warned you guys. I called it first. I'm a barely literate comic book artist, and I got one right. I guessed right.
Well, even though Congressman Green is not the most credible member of the Democratic Party in the House, probably one of the least, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Here's the reason why. In the midterm elections in 2022, the reason Republicans did not perform well is because, in many instances, because core Republican Trump supporters, they might call them MAGA supporters, simply did not turn out. They didn't feel compelled to do so. So races were lost that could have been won, particularly.
That was all of us in 2022. It's not that we voted for put an X next to a Democrat. It's we didn't show up to put an X next to a Republican. Maybe I need to change my moniker from never put an X next to a Democrat to always show up and put an X next to a Republican, because we didn't get off the couch in 2022. And that's what put Mike Johnson in so much trouble with how little of a majority he has to do anything.
The Senate. Now, in this last gubernatorial race we had in Virginia and New Jersey, once again, we see that the turnout was not as strong, for particularly in Virginia, among MAGA, very core Republican Trump supporters. They didn't.
That's us. We're falling asleep at the midterms. Well said. I don't blame the other side. I blame us. We can do something about it. Get up. We could have voted in Jersey.
Want to turn out. So if you say you're going to impeach the man, you're going to bring those people off of their couch and out to the voting booth. And
yes. And that's why I bring up that Trump will be impeached if we don't vote in 2026. That's our brand. It's going to get us off the couch, because now not voting will throw Trump in prison for life and impeach him.
Energize the very vote that's needed to make sure the Republicans hold on to the House and maybe increase their significance in the Senate.
So we want Democrats to keep pushing impeachment. It'll be good for our party, good for our wins. And finally, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. I believe in the American people. You are stronger and more resilient than you know. Well, those of us who didn't quit and give up are more strong and resilient than Marjorie Taylor Greene. There are no leaders that will save this country, but you, the American people, can. Actually, there is one leader that saved this country. His name is Donald Trump, and you turned your back on him. You ran against his policies because you're aversion to Israel is so great that you couldn't keep your mouth shut and just vote with him. There is a leader that tried to save this country. Now, you're right that you and I are going to also save this country, but there is a leader that came to save this country. His name is Donald J. Trump, and you called him a liar. So are you hoping for another person to save the country? Who else? Who's going to do it? If we all stitch our torn and tattered, beautiful star-spangled banner back together, we can do anything. No, Marjorie, the banner and the flag is not torn and tattered. It flies brand new, crisp. It's awesome. We're on fire. You tore the flag. You tore MAGA in half. You're the one that split the winning side and took a bunch of followers, a bunch of people, losers who are brainwashed against Israel and thinking and Epstein files. You did. It was an unforced error. You tore the flag in half. Then you're like, now we can stitch it back together. You know what? It's already half healed just by you getting out of politics. If Thomas Massey dropped out too, it would heal even more. The problem didn't come from the other side. It came from within. Get on board, MAGA, Republicans, conservative, behind Trump, not America first, make America great again. Because America first suddenly got zombie twisted into hate Israel first. Love America first does not mean hate Israel first. You people, it's simple politics. We need a majority to win. We need to back Trump. Trump brought us to the dance. I'm not going to screw him over now. And everyone in the Republican Party on the right, you have no career if Trump loses and gets impeached and you allow Democrats to take over the Senate and the House. And even if J.D. Vance wins in 28, he has one hell of a third branch of government, the House and Senate, to fight if they're full of Democrats that'll try to impeach J.D. Vance and call him a Nazi too. So get on board the Republican MAGA brand and Trump will guide us. And that's how I'm voting. The only win that we've had in recent is Trump. So don't take your only win and take it for granted. What do you guys think? Are you on board with MAGA no matter what? You got to say it in the chat below. I'm Doug in Exile. Go to church.